Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. Today I am working on a summer Deco mesh wreath using another roll of that crystal fuzzy mesh and some dark metallic blue. My sign's yellow, blue, and pink. It says hello sunshine, it's over there, I'll show you. But I don't normally start off with wiring these wreaths, but this is one of the Dollar General frames because Dollar Tree is, I don't know, they doing me dirty. So I thought that I would just, while I'm doing this, start filming and, see what you guys are up to. These frames are 12 inches. I want to make another one. This one that I'm making now. I made one already and I used 12-inch tails and compared it with a Dollar Tree wreath, and you could see that it was smaller, barely, but it had 12-inch tails. The Dollar Tree wreath I was comparing it to had 14-inch tails. So I'm going to cut my tails for this one at 14 inches and see if it makes that much of a difference. These are more expensive. They're also, I don't know, like it's comparing a steel beam to a popsicle stick. This being the steel beam, they are very sturdy. They are very well made. They're also 75 cents more, so maybe that 75 cents makes all the difference. And I'm just putting 3 pipe cleaners in every section. I'm actually going to brace this up against myself to speed it up a little bit. So how are you guys doing? Hope you're doing better than me. I had my tooth out. Today's Friday, and my tooth out on Tuesday, and I got a terrible sore throat. Like that night, my throat started hurting, and I read all this stuff about how like sometimes the numbing agent they give you can cause a sore throat, or your mouth being open. Which it wasn't like an hour-long process. Like it was maybe 15 minutes that I was standing there with my throat open, with my mouth wide open while they were trying to get the tooth out. But it was uncomfortable at first, and now it's starting to get a little painful. Like, I don't think your throat should hurt more than the gaping hole in your gums does, Gums does. Gums. Gaping hole in your gums does. Yeah, that's it. So I'm trying, I've been gargling with salt water. I've been using like chloroseptic drops, drinking tea. I thought I was feeling a little better earlier, but then it started hurting again. I also fell asleep last night at 9:30, which never happens. I never go to sleep that early. Even when I'm like, man, I'm really tired, I still manage to stay up later than that. So I don't know if I'm getting sick, if I was just particularly tired yesterday, if the ibuprofen I was taking was making me a little drowsy, who knows? But yeah, like I don't feel bad. It's like, it's a sore throat, it's annoying. I'm having trouble eating because I can only chew on one side, and so yeah, that's how you wire these. I like to include this every now and then, not too much because it's a little repetitive, but if you're watching the slow version, you've just seen all that fast forwarded. Alright, so like I said, these are my 2 meshes. One is just I don't think this is a navy one. I think this is a royal. It might be navy. It might be royal. I don't know. This is my sign. The blue in here is a little more tealy, but I think it's going to look good because there's a lot of yellow in here. I think it's going to look good up against this darker background. So yeah, and I think I am going to do Kruffles. And these are cut at approximately 20 inches. So roll one end up, roll the other end up, give it a little crunch in the middle, and I'm placing these curl side up. Sometimes I go curl side down. I don't see a big difference. And then really, you know, when I do it one way or the other, I'm actually gonna, let me do the inside too. One of these pieces, like I don't know what's wrong with my rotary cutter. This part keeps moving, and like it is tightened down as far as it can go. But this keeps moving, so when it's cutting, this gets in the way. This rotary cutter is probably about 15 years old, so I have another one somewhere. I might try to switch them up because see, it like did this. Where are my scissors? Oh. It like pulled when it was cutting, and I was like, nope, 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 nope. That's a Deco mesh raised enough without me ripping it while I'm cutting it. So again, curl one end, curl the other end, and crunch it up. Go. So I'm going to do this all the way around, and then I will meet you on the other side. Holy crap, that's hot. Okay, wow. That just maybe that's why my throat hurts. Maybe I just burned my esophagus out. I'm drinking organic throat coat tea with slippery elm bark. I just had a rough week. Physical therapy was particularly hard both days. The toothache to the tooth extraction and now the sore throat. But it's Friday. My mom's coming over tomorrow. She's got her house inspection. Moving right along. I need to come up with a housewarming present for her. Which, probably not a wreath. I don't know. Something like that. Something fun. Something pretty. She's excited. I'm excited for her. Today I went to mail wreaths. I had one going to Michelle that she custom ordered for Corinne's teacher, and I was like, hey, you know how to fluff a wreath, right? And she's like, yeah, I guess so. Why? And I was like, because I put your wreath in the box and then I crammed all your Christmas presents in around it. Because I haven't seen her or the kids for a year. So I was like, you know what? Those Christmas presents are going underneath there. And then I realized now there's no Christmas presents underneath my tree, so there's no reason for me to have my tree up, so I have to take my tree down. Which, yes, I was using those 3 Christmas presents under my tree as an excuse to not have to take it down. And you know, in all honesty, I probably won't take it down. I might undecorate it. But yeah. Every time I look at it, I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, and our Dollar Tree closed today. But the new one should be opening soon. We still have another one, but the new one should be opening soon. So I just passed there today. But I went to Dollar General to go buy some more Wreath frames. I went to Walgreens to drop off my packages. It's Michelle's Wreath and a custom order from my friend Kyle for her double door wreath. I'm pretty sure y'all have seen those already. And then I went to, where did I go? I went to the grocery store real quick because I forgot to get salt. I only use a Himalayan pink salt, like the coarse ground one, like, you know, it comes in its own grinder. And I was trying to gargle with that, and I was like, this is like impossible because these are like giant grinds of salt. Giant pieces of salt. And I forgot to get salt while I was at Dollar General, so I stopped at the grocery store, got myself a tray of finger sandwiches for lunch and dinner, then picked up some salt to gargle with, some fine sea salt. It's still so hot. I mean, I know that's the point, but I'm like very hot too, but I don't have the air on because I don't know what's wrong with, like, it's not in all the videos, which is weird. It's like there's this background noise that will not filter out no matter what I try. And I keep thinking, like, maybe it's the air conditioning. Like, is the air conditioning on in some videos and it's not on in other ones? So I've been making a point to turn it off, which was fine when it was 40 degrees outside. It's like, I don't know, what is it, March 11th right now, so that's like a week away from summer, basically, here. I mean, it's not bad outside, it's just, you need the air on. I need the air on at least. My mom was over here yesterday. She's like, oh my god, it's so cold. Oh god, I gotta go stand outside. It's so cold in this house. And I was like, I don't come to your house and complain about how unbearably hot it is. But I did turn the air off for her because that's the kind of person I am. And then we were packing up a wreath and she's like, why are you sweating so much? And I was like, because there's no air in here, mother. Because I'm dying. Because it's like 65 degrees in this house and I'm dying because that is incredibly hot for me. When Carl was alive, her house, I never went by her house when Carl was alive because it was always so unbearably hot in there. Like, if it was summer, it was hot because the air wasn't on, and if it was winter, it was hot because the heater was on 90 degrees. I can't handle that, y'all. So I'm so glad I live alone, because if I ever lived with somebody who was like, oh, that air conditioner needs to come down, I'd be like, you need to get out. I think we should start seeing other people. It's not me, it's you. That's what would happen. This is pulling up against this thing on my finger again. Let me put my phone right here so I can see when my mom texted me. Ow. Yeah, my throat has been bothering me, so I tried to get an appointment with my doctor today. I was like, maybe she has an appointment. Sometimes, you know, somebody cancels last minute, and maybe there's an appointment, you know, later on. I mean, it's like 6 o'clock, it's like 5:30 now, so I mean, there's no appointment now, but, you know, like maybe there's one at like noon. She doesn't have an appointment until the 24th. So I was like, okay, so if this is still going on tomorrow, I guess I get to go spend another 7 hours in the emergency room. Always fun. I just don't want to have strep and not know it, you know? I am burning up. This tea is not helping. I used to love when I was a kid, even kind of as an adult, like getting a cold, not like a sore throat cold. Like I don't want to have a sore throat. But like, you know, being a little under the weather, so you could like have this excuse to like be cozy and drink warm drinks and cuddle up on the sofa with a bunch of blankets. I mean, I don't have a sofa, and if I did, I don't have a TV. You know what I mean? Like when I was younger, you'd be like, oh, I'm sick, I gotta eat soup and cuddle up and watch cartoons or something. And I'm talking about like, you know, younger, like when I was 35. But as I got older, now every time I'm sick, I'm like, oh man, I guess I have to drink a bunch of Theraflu because I love Theraflu. Which is probably what I should be drinking, but I don't have any of the Theraflu symptoms except for the sore throat. Actually, I don't like Theraflu. I like the Equate brand Theraflu. The generic one. I've already had that when I've like, if I have a headache, and I'm like, oh, I kind of have a headache. Instead of taking Tylenol, I'll drink Theraflu. You know, the problem with these smaller frames is that they fill up, and it's kind of hard to get in there. My mom made me some tuna noodle casserole yesterday. And when I say made, she stirred everything together and put it in a oven-proof dish. I was like, well, you made me tuna noodle casserole? And she was like, can you not do that yourself? And I was like, I can't, I just don't want to. My tooth hurts. And my throat hurts. But that's like hardcore comfort food. She didn't put enough cheese on it, but I was like, I bought a 4-pound pack of cheese, Mom. Why didn't you use it all? She's like, because it's 4 pounds of cheese. And I was like, yeah, but I bought that for this. And she's like, no. So I have some leftovers, and I'm gonna add some more cheese to it. I think I like that too when I have a sore throat, because it's like soft and hot. I made biscuits for breakfast this morning, and they're those frozen Pillsbury biscuits, and my mom gets them all the time, and when I talk to her, because I got up at 4 today because I went to bed so early last night, so she texted me at like 6, and she's like, I'm up if you need to talk. So I called her, and I was like, are these biscuits supposed to be flat? And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, they're flat. Like, they don't look much different than when I put them in there. And she was like, did you put them the right side down? I was like, how is there a right side? So she said there was like a flat side and a rounded side. And I looked at them afterwards and I was like, they're flat on both sides. And I made some more later on. Because I wanted something sweet. So I was like, I have some jelly somewhere in this house and I'll make a biscuit. And I tried to find a flat side, couldn't find it, baked it again, it was still flat and hard. I think this is the first time I'm gonna have to take a break from filming. Like usually I take a break and go do something else because my back is hurting, but now it's like my throat hurts from talking. If you need a really thick, come on, get in there. A really thick base. Like, I don't know if you got a real heavy sign, you need the mesh to hold up. Yeah, go for a slightly smaller frame, because this is like, that is packed. This is a workout. So yeah, tomorrow Mom is coming over. I don't think we're doing anything because we just went to the grocery on Thursday when she had off. And I went again today, but all I got was finger sandwiches and salt, which, you know. So I think we're just gonna hang out around here, and then we're meeting my sister for lunch, my middle sister, and then she's going with my mom to the inspection for the house because she's like, you know, handy. She's like, you want to come? And the only reason I don't want to go is because there's somebody living there. Like, I don't think we need a whole group of us to go inspect this house. Like, I'd love to go see the inside of it, but yeah. I mean, this poor guy, he has nowhere to go. But you know, the house has been for sale for a while, so I guess if he doesn't have anywhere to go, that's his, you know. My mom feels bad, but I'm like, Mom, like, it's not like you're the one kicking him out. Like, people told him they were selling the house and he could either buy it or move. And he didn't want to buy it, and he has made no effort to move, so don't feel bad. I think they said he was paying like $900 rent there, so he's got $900 a month that he can spend somewhere else. You know, to get another place, not like, oh, he can just get out because he's got money too. I'm not saying that. Like, it's not like he has to stay there because he has no money. Like, he has, if he can afford $900 a month at that house, he can afford $900 a month in another house or an apartment. not gonna do this. I was like, I'm gonna go lay down and put some Orajel on the hole in my mouth and just lay down and just chill out and do nothing. And I was like, let me do this, but now I kind of regret it because I'm not having fun. Not that this part is ever particularly fun, but I'm like, oh god, I'm tired, everything hurts. My tea tastes weird because I'm not used to drinking slippery elm bark. One, two. Do not tell me I'm missing a piece of mesh. One, two, three, one, two. Alright, I know I have another piece. I'm missing a piece of blue. Which I cut them together. How am I missing a piece of blue? Okay. That's something I don't feel like dealing with. Yeah, I think the blue roll was short because there's like a whole nother piece of this one. And I cut short. Every time I cut short. I was cutting these at like 18, 19. I'm gonna have to start cutting at like 17, 18. Such BS with this. Like, I never see anybody else do it, but I rarely see people be like, okay, I've actually measured. Like, most of the time they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna cut. And they're just like cutting, and I'm like, how do you know how much mesh you're putting into that wreath? So how do you price your wreath if you have no idea how much mesh you've opened? Because you've opened half a roll of this one, half a roll of that one, a little bit of this one, a little bit of that one. Now I'm angry. Like, I have a border mesh in this color that I could open, but I'm not going to. Alright, I know it didn't fall anywhere because I cut everything together. This is all that's left of the blue. And then this is how much is left of the crystal mesh. So how is that? Cram this in here and hope for the best, even though it's way longer than it needs to be. Yeah, this is over. Let me show you how we do this. Are you from the middle? Hi. Business. I'm gonna put two of the plaids on top of each other, and that's where we're gonna stick a bow or something. And then I'm gonna move that blue to the outside. Business, shut up. Actually, probably if I didn't want to put another one in there, I could just do this, huh? Because it's not like you can tell, but I think you would have been able to tell if it was on the outside. So move this one out here. God, this wreath is tight. Might as well, because I'm not going to use this for anything else. Crisis averted. But it was enough to give me a splitting headache. I hate stuff like that, y'all. I mean, I know I say it all the time, but I really hate that. And it's not Craft Outlet's fault, you know. I can't like call them and be like, hey, I got shorted on my mesh. Okay, so that's where something's going to go to cover up the fact that this is like two of them on top of each other. And I guess I could kind of... that's better. Alright, so... nice and poofy. Yeah, so you can see right here. And then my sign will go somewhere. And then we're going to add a lot of yellow and lighter colors to this to bring out the color of the sign and downplay some of that darker. But that looks good right now. I'm just going to, I'm going to be done for today, so yeah. Okay, let me apologize in advance about all this mess over here. I started cutting out my ribbon tails and getting my pipe cleaners on and everything last night, and now there's nowhere to put anything, so that's what's going on. But we left off with my base. It is nice and poofy. It's got a random tulip stuck in it that fell off of Kyle's wreath probably. Here is the spot where the extra, you know, where that little missing, you'll know what I'm talking about, y'all just saw it. It was like yesterday for me, but I'm going to put my sign on. This is just, it's stapled on here. I put a little bit of glue. This glue gun, I think it's because it's always next to the glue pot. My glue gun is like acting weird. But I just put a little bit of hot glue on there to make sure, you know, it's stapled on there, but the MDF is not always, you know, it's not like stapling into real wood. It's not the most stable thing. So any little thing I can do to help, I'm gonna do. All right, so how do I want to do this? Because again, this frame is smaller, but I think if I go straight down here, yeah, I'm gonna get it right on the outer ring of the wreath form. So I'm gonna get this on, and then we are going to make some bows and put in our ribbons, and I found some tubing and I was like, sure, why not? So I do one corner, I'm gonna do here, 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 here. That's the order I go. So what's going on with y'all? It's Saturday. I wasn't feeling good this morning. I wasn't feeling good yesterday, I'll know that. My throat much better today. I don't know if it's the all the Theraflu I drank yesterday. I want this to be down a little bit lower, but it might have have to stay up some because this wreath base is not very big. No, I need to do that one first. I don't know, but my throat feels much better, so I won't be complaining about that. I'm sure I'll find something else to complain about. Like, I just got up from a nap, so I was a little tired. I'm just feeling a little worn down. Somebody left a comment saying, I don't know when they left it, but I just saw it today, that said, like your wreaths and your style, don't want to talk about, but talking about things nobody cares about and how I don't have a plan. Like, don't I plan this out beforehand? Like, I know negative comments are part of the deal, like, and that wasn't even a bad comment, it was just like, you know, complaining, which, okay, we all know I love complaining, but, alright, you're gonna go over there, I guess, because you seem to want to be over there. Like, me talking about stuff that's going on with whatever, that's just what it's gonna be. You want me to sit here and be like, okay, now we're gonna put this through here, and then we're gonna go through, and then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna put it over here. Like, do you really need to know that? No, you don't. Like, these are not tutorials. I'm not explaining a step-by-step of every little thing I'm doing. You don't need to know how to wrap a pipe cleaner around something. I would hope that all of you know how to do that. But I saw the comment and I was like, okay, thanks for your backhanded compliment. Also, a lot of people care about the nonsense I talk about. A lot of y'all would be completely lost if y'all weren't, if I made a video and didn't tell you everything that was ailing me and what I had for breakfast and where I went after breakfast. And what happened when I was out there. I mean, I could sit here and edit this stuff, which I do. You know, you're complaining about something and I edit all this stuff out. If you don't want to watch that. You know, there's a short version of almost every Deco mesh wreath. No, there is a short version of every Deco mesh wreath I do. But this is on a grapevine video. Whatever. Sorry. Sorry that you don't like your free content. I'll try harder next time to spend my time and money providing free content for you. And y'all wonder why there's 16 ads on my videos. Alright, my battery needs to be turned on. Okay, that's better. Alright, so that's there. Hello, sunshine. I'm like, I thought my spring wreaths were bright, and now my summer wreaths are like, we're gonna punch you in the face with our brightness. Okay, I'm gonna move this off to the side because I want about here. Let me think about this. I wanted to do 3 bows, but well, I guess I could do like 1, 2, 3, like make a big one, a medium one, and then a small one here. That might be cool, huh? Should we try that? Because it's not like I planned anything. Oh God, people are funny. I forgot my bow maker fell behind the table. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. I have this ribbon cut for my tails. I have this ribbon cut for tails. I have a yellow ribbon, but I'm out of it. So I think I'm going to add in this orange ribbon too. I definitely have enough of that. I should have enough of that, and I know I have enough of that. So, I mean, I really like this ribbon. It's somewhat obnoxious, but so am I. So, do, I'm gonna make a terry bow, 2 loops, 2 tails, starting out at 6, going down. The next one's gonna be, no, I'm gonna start at 6.5, next one will be 6, the one after that will be 5.5. So if you're watching the short version, that's what I'm doing. Just making, going down with my ribbons like a quarter and a half inch every time. And hopefully I have enough of this Fruit Stripes gum ribbon over here. So yeah, in case anybody was wondering, I have no plans to ever change the way these videos are done. I mean, maybe one day I'll have a table where stuff doesn't fall behind it all the time, but it is what it is. Speaking of, it is what it is. Well, this really doesn't have anything to do with it is what it is. If you have not joined me on Patreon so far, it's just me and Amanda Brown, and we are having a fun time. So, if you want to check that out, wait, I did this side. I feel like I did this side wrong, but whatever. That was 6, so this one would be 5.5. We are over there, and Amanda, because she has signed up for Patreon, she gets, because I realized I need to make like a dedicated video to this, but she gets, this one's 5.5. She gets access to, as soon as this wreath right now is done, I will take a picture of it on this very table and I will post it to Patreon. So she sees the wreath before anybody. She also has unrestricted access to me. Like, that's not so much a big deal because, like, if you ask me a bunch of questions in the comments, I'm probably going to answer them, but I'm going to answer them after I answer questions on Patreon. I need pipe cleaners. So if you have questions about anything, or you can ask them on YouTube. I don't always get to my YouTube comments because for something happened and now I have a life. I don't know. It's weird for me too that I have like things to do. But like today, Amanda messaged me and she said, you know, I have some questions. And she sent me some pictures and I gave her as thorough a response as I can. And hopefully that helped her. So if that's something you'd like, you know, or if you just, I mean, you don't even have to like participate. If you just want to support me and pay for me to get my teeth removed and my dog. If you want to help pay off businesses' debt to me, Patreon is there. We do, you get to see my sketchbook. It's not a sketchbook. It's my planner. My planner of what's ahead for the month. Like at the beginning of the month, I post picture of my planner that if you can decipher my handwriting, you can see what's coming up. So this one we're going to start off at 6, go down to 5.5, go down to 5. Can you be on there? My other peg fell out on the table, so it's lost forever. What else do we have? I'll occasionally post in progress of stuff, and you get all the high-res pictures of Wreath, which I realize you can go to Etsy and look at, but yeah, there is a Patreon after show, not all the time, but sometimes, and it's usually just me finishing, like I'll tell you in the regular, like in this video, if there's going to be an after show, I'll tell you. But it's usually just me finishing up a wreath, you know, trimming pipe cleaners, cutting tails. We continue whatever our conversation was. Sometimes I spill a lot of tea. Not against like anybody, like just like stuff I don't want to say in videos. But yeah, I'm there for troubleshooting. I'm there for helping you in whatever way I can. And it's all only $5 a month. And you can, wait, that was 6 and this one's 5.5, yeah. You can join for 1 month and cancel afterwards. You can pay me every month for the rest of your life. I make $4 from each person, so. Oh, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay, I think. This ribbon is, interesting. It's very, it feels very papery, like I know it's not paper. But it just feels kind of, it feels weird. And this, it's got like a, this edge is supposed to be turned this way. Like that. I don't know. What else? Yeah, we're just having fun. I mean, it's just us right now, but maybe by the time you've seen this, there's 2 or 3 other people. This one is, we started at 6, 5.5, and this is 5. I think that's it. Like there's, sometimes, like I have a, there's a couple of videos, well there's at least one, where it's just like a little extra tip about, fixing Dollar Tree signs, like those foam signs, about how to fix them if there are little boo-boos on them. So yeah, I think it's fun. Not that I'm an expert, but you know, like she was having trouble with her bows. She's just got an easy bow maker. I hope she doesn't mind me talking about this. She's got an easy bow maker, and you know, she was having trouble with her bows, and she sent me a couple of wreaths to look at, and I gave her honest feedback, because if you want my opinion, I'm gonna give it to you. Like, if you ask me what's wrong with something, I'm gonna tell you. So I told her, you know, let's try to open those up a little bit, make those loops a little bigger, and you know, she had a picture of a grapevine. Everything she did was very nice. She had a picture of a grapevine. And I said, let's, leave those stems a little bit longer so everything's fuller and you still don't, you're still using the same amount of stuff. It's just the wreath looks a little bit fuller. And it's constructive. It's constructive information. It's not just like, be better. Because that's not helpful to anybody. Just tell them to do better. All right, 6.5, 6. This one's 5.5. So if you need that kind of help, I am there for you on Patreon. Alright, everybody over here needs to calm down. Everybody's all riled up over here. Yeah, she sent me a selection of wreaths. And it was like a progression too of like, oh, these are earlier wreaths. These are the first ones I did, and then these are them now. And like you can see a progression of her style, her skill set, which I think is super interesting to, like, for me to see and for her to have. Like, I think even if I was making something that was not going to go on Etsy, that was not going to be video, like, I always take pictures because I want to look back and say, oh, like, I have pictures of wreaths that I did. I mean, you can go back and watch videos of wreaths I did on this channel, and some of them are just like, what's wrong with you? What you going through? God, there's one Christmas wreath. I took it apart. It was so bad. I took it apart and made another wreath, and I was like, I can't believe this is on my channel. But it is still there, and it's always going to be there. That was 5.5, so this is 5. Just to show, like, if you do this enough, if you do this, I don't know, I film, like, maybe 5 wreaths a week. Oh my god. You just continue to get better. And I also told her, when it comes to the Easy Bow Maker, I had mine, I was using it, I was not particularly thrilled with how my bows were coming out. And I told her, I have a video on the Easy Bow Maker. If you watch that and it doesn't work for you, if my explanation of what I'm doing does not work for you, find somebody who does. Type in Easy Bow Maker tutorial, find somebody who speaks in the terms that you understand. I mean, I tried to make my video as clear as possible, but sometimes it's just somebody else can do it better, or somebody else can do it in a style that suits you more. It's like when you're learning something. Somebody could be the best teacher in the world, but if their teaching style doesn't align with your learning style, then, somebody's got to do something about that. So I told her, go watch as many videos as you can, because that's how I learned how to work with my Easy Bow Maker. And mine was, who did I watch? I watch so much YouTube, y'all, it's not even funny. Okay, so that was, what was this at? 5, so this is 4.5. This is a BL Little Bow. I found watching Damon Oates from Deco Exchange. He is there to make a project and get it done. So I'm sure, like, if you signed up for his coaching group, his creative group, like, I'm sure things are slowed down. I watch everything at 2x speed on YouTube anyway, so maybe that's just me. He's a little fast. He's definitely faster than me, but who isn't? But, like, I just remember watching him, and I was like, how is he doing that? How is he taking this ribbon, whipping it around, and just, this bow, when he comes up with this bow, all he does is tighten it, and it's perfect. I'm never going to be able to do that. And let me show you this right here. There you go. That's exactly what he was doing. And part of mine was that I was not twisting tight enough. I was not pulling down this way, because you could do everything perfect on here. When you pull it up, if you're just barely tightening it, and you're not like making sure everything's where it's supposed to be before you actually tighten it. So seeing that, I was like, oh, okay, all right. So that bow is fully formed before the pipe cleaner even gets close to it. And a lot of it comes down to ribbon. I know everybody loves their Dollar Tree ribbon, but Damon has this thing where he won't sell a ribbon if he can't take it and hold it like this to make a loop that stands up on its own. I mean, he probably doesn't even make it that big, but if you can't, if the wire won't allow you to have a loop to stand up like this, then he doesn't sell it in the shop. And do I have, I was like, do I have a cheap ribbon over here? But I don't, because I know better now. But yeah, if you're having trouble with bows, it might also, you could do everything right and it comes down to the ribbon being difficult to work with. All right. So yeah, now that we talked about bows and ribbon, and I've told you to go learn from somebody else. Let's get back to this wreath. I had the worst headache when I woke up this morning. I was like, when's the last time I had caffeine? So we are remedying that situation now. Okay, so that's my big one. That's going to go at the top. We're going to come around this way. Alright, all my bows are done. This is the biggest one. Medium, small over here. We'll fill in with the tails, add some tubing, and we will be done. Because these are black, I don't, what is this on my hand that is like, because I use these black ties, I am going to, you know what, I'm going to worry about those later. Because if they're not showing, they're not showing, and I'm not going to clip them for no reason. I'm going to start up here. I'm just going to get these in here. I'm going to put the big one in first, the smallest one in next, and the medium-sized one in the middle. Just going through as much mesh as I can. Don't pull it all the way down, just sink it in a little bit. Tie it off. It might be an after show because I'll go through and trim all that stuff. Something is like stinging the crap out of my hand right here. Alright, my bows are confused now. Okay, this is a small one. This is the medium one. I want this one directly across from here. So my mom, I went to lunch with my mom and my sister today because my sister was down because my middle sister, I think I said this yesterday, she was down because my mom's house, her new house, the inspection was today and everything's fine. The dishwasher doesn't work. The roof has been patched, but I mean, it's, unless you have a roof that was put on yesterday, pretty much all of them have something wrong with them down here because of, we got the hurricanes, and hurricanes are not kind to the roofs. But yeah, they had been, it had been patched. She said something, it was all like, it was like little things. Like some cosmetic stuff. But the inspector told her, he said if this was my mom, you know, if my mom was buying, I'd feel comfortable moving my mom into this house. And my sister was like, are you coming with us? And I was like, no, She said, why not? I said, I don't want to be in somebody else's house. God, I hope my landlords never do that to me. I'd be like, hey, we're gonna have a bunch of people coming through your house while you're still living there. I'd be like, you gonna wait for me to move out before any of that happens. My landlords wouldn't do that though. Okay, and if you're on the struggle bus here, of course, you know, there's no needle anywhere. We got that through. We'll just have to trim these around the sign. So yeah, next step is the house gets appraised, the price gets adjusted. If it's less, if it's more, too bad. If it's less, my mom has to pay less. And then I guess they sign some papers, and 30 days later that guy's out of there and my mom's in. And I am super excited. She said when they went, they were just putting up a for rent sign at the house next door. And I was like, Mom, don't tell me that. I was like, oh no. She's like, don't worry. It's like, I think she said it was like $1,190 a month. And I was like, okay, well that is ridiculous, first of all. I guess it's ridiculous compared to what I pay for my house. I was like, well, I guess my landlords don't have to, I just covered up all this mesh. I guess my landlords don't have to worry about me moving out to live next to you, because that is, that's a little bit out of my budget. Okie dokie. I've got to clean over there. There's so much stuff. There was a wreath that I started filming and then I realized I wasn't filming, so it's just like sitting there half done. I am going to take a quick break and then I will be back momentarily for us to resume work on this wreath. Hello, sunshine. I am going to trim all of these. I'm going to trim a couple of them now, just so we can see our sign. But what's more boring than 15 minutes of watching me trim ribbon tails? Although a lot of you would gladly sit here and listen to me while I trim these ribbon tails, because y'all are those kind of people, and y'all are my kind of people. I think it's really just these two, huh? Like, I'm not worried about this. Yeah, and everything else will just be kind of... It's like when you're trimming back, you know, you cut your bangs and everything else. It's not in a way so you don't cut it. Is that how bangs work? What am I talking about? Okay, so... These two are trimmed. Those are the only ones that are kind of impeding on the sign. If you wanted to, you could manipulate them a little further. Like, I don't mind if this loop comes over a little bit, because you can still read what the sign says. And I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but this has like little rays behind it. I didn't notice that until last night. I was looking at it, I was like, does that have like a sun behind it? And it does. So here's our bows. Here's our spaces that are empty, and I have 14 ribbon tails, which I now realize is a lot. But we're going to put them in here, and we're going to add some tubing. Yeah, this ribbon feels weird, but it is going to be a joy. I mean, look at it. It's just like, it's very, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe this. It's weird, but not in a bad way. Like, it's not canvasy. I don't think it's woven. I think that's what it is. Like, it's not like a woven ribbon. Do I need to zoom? Oh, I don't feel like I'm so tight in. Oh, it's so crooked because my mat's like sideways. This ribbon is like sandpaper. That's probably what happened to my finger. I rubbed this weird ribbon up against it too many times. Alright, so I'm just going to alternate my... I don't think I'm going to end up using 14 because that seems like a lot. I'm pleating this. Putting a little curve on it. Folding it in half. I cut 14 because I knew there was 12 along the outside, and you know, I would like to at least have those filled up. And I guess right now I can go and take my tubing. And the way I do this is a 24-inch piece. This is the tubing from Dollar Tree. I think this is the fall green, not the Halloween green. It's a little more olivey than limey, which honestly, either one of them would have worked. This is the one I just saw on the ground, and I was like, So I'm going to take this, cross the ends over about an inch each way, find the center, pull it in like this, and then plop it down. Is that how I did it? Every time I do this, I'm like, wait, is that what I did? But yeah, that's what I did. I don't use tubing that much, but for this one, I was like, let's just go all out. Let's do it. These pipe cleaners are very hard to find, and whatever this is that is scratching the side of my thumb. I know it's the mesh scratching, but what is it scratching on? Is that what that guy meant when he said that I don't have a plan? Because I had to sit here for 10 minutes figuring out how to make a loop? I'm not going to sit here and try to finagle this thing. It feels like... You know, like you have muscle memory of doing something? Like, that's how it was with quilting. Like, when I was quilting, I could, like, do what I was doing without even really paying attention because of my muscle memory of moving the quilting machine. And when I'm doing this, it feels like not right. I think I'm going to make a dedicated video on Patreon. Because I don't want the breakdown to get lost in this one, so. Yeah, maybe I'll do that and like put it up tomorrow. And then get a bunch of new subscribers and then pay for my mom's moving costs. Wouldn't that be amazing? I tried to pay for lunch today. My sister was like, I got it. She said I had a good week, and I said, so did I. And she was like, I got it. I said, I got it. And my mom was just standing there. She was like, I can get it. And I was like, no, I got it. And my sister was like, I got it. So I was like, you know what? You get it. I'll spend that $40 on stuff to make. I'll turn that $40 into $120. I'm like a wolf of Wall Street over here, except with Wreath. And muscle relaxes. I'm trying to like wean myself, not wean myself off sounds terrible, like I'm addicted to them, but I'm trying to get off of the muscle relaxers without my back reverting. So like I'm pretty much done with daytime. Like I'm okay during the day. And I'm still taking the one at night because I'm worried about waking up all stiff. But it's only a half. And I can't cut it down to a quarter because the pill, literally my doctor was like, yeah, I'm gonna give you the 10 milligram. Just cut it in half. She said like the prescribed strength is 10 milligrams. Cut it in half and take 5. So I was like, oh, okay. And I go and pick the pill up and I get it home and I am just like, how am I can barely see this thing. How am I supposed to cut it in half? I have to get like this, my mom bought one of Carl's pill cutters over that he got after begging the VA pharmacy to give him one. It's got like a razor blade thing. Like it's like the Mercedes of pill cutters. I mean, I'm trying to think of like something to, like I'm looking around trying to find like a representation of how small this pill is. I don't know, maybe like these dots on here? Little bitty teeny tiny pill, and I was like, how am I supposed to break this in half? And it didn't have a score line. So I definitely cannot cut back on my nighttime pill, my nighttime muscle relaxer by cutting that in half, so I think I'm just gonna, I might start taking the daytime at night because that's a lighter relaxer, and then because I can cut those in half and go from, those are only 2 milligrams, so I'll start taking 2 milligrams at night and then go down to a half. I just don't want to wake up and be like, oh my god, everything hurts again because I didn't, because I went off these pills when I shouldn't have. But we'll see. So I'm so glad I went through and did all this work on the mesh, and now you can barely see it, but hey. I feel like if I did a wreath where I was just like using basic mesh and I just, covered it all up like this one is, or like any of my other wreaths are, I'd be like, oh man, that wreath is missing something. Because these little pieces, they're not much, but they, they add something to the wreath. see a lot of people, you know, when people are doing lives, like the commenters are like, you covered up the entire wreath. I'm like, yeah, I did. Or they did. And they always get like super defensive about it. Like, I didn't cover up the entire wreath, and I'm like, yeah, you did. Like, okay, let's just face it. We as wreath makers need to realize that we have a problem with putting mesh in a wreath and then completely covering it up with a sign and ribbon and accoutrement. Like, let's not pretend we didn't do that. But they're like super defensive. They're like, so what are you talking about? You can still see the wreath. I'm like, yeah, if you turn the wreath over. You can still see the mesh if you turn the wreath over. So, these pipe cleaners are so hard to find, y'all. Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna get the on Friday. It's not the one I wanted. I wanted the Johnson & Johnson, but I'm getting the Moderna. It is what it is. I'm not worried about the first dose. I'm worried about the second because my mom never complains about anything, and she did some complaining about her second dose. Not like, shut up, mom, but like, just, she was like, yeah, I'm kind of tired, and my arm, like her arm still hurts. So I was like, oh, well, that kind of makes me scared, but not as scared as catching the super flu does. My mom we were talking about it today because I made the appointment while we were at lunch, and my sister was like, I'm not getting that. I said, what do you mean you're not getting that? She said, I'm not getting that. So I'm not going to go and make an appointment and have to go wait in line somewhere. I'll wait until everybody else has it. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, when me and mom hang out after I'm done, we won't have to wear a mask anymore. My mom was like, we literally haven't worn masks around each other for the past year. And I was like, I know, but still. Like, in public, we have. But, like, if we're at my house, boxing up a wreath together, we do not have masks on. I actually saw my sister today for the first time with her mask on, and I was like, that's weird, because every time I see her is at my mom's house, and my mom is not enforcing the mask mandate inside her house. So yeah, I'm going to do that Friday at 10 at Walmart Neighborhood Market, because CVS has the Johnson & Johnson, which is what I wanted. I can't make an appointment there for some reason. They're just like, no, I know that somebody here told, like, the woman when I went there the other day to get some stuff for my throat because I had a $5 off, you know, like extra box. I was like, when are y'all getting you know what? And she was like, oh, we have it. And I was like, oh. She's like, it's Johnson & Johnson. I was like, that's perfect. She's like, yeah, you can go through the app to make an appointment. And it's just like, nope, sorry. So my mom was like, just do Walmart. And I was like, okay. So I went to the Walmart app and they were like Friday, and I said, okay, good. Works for me. I just remember one year I got the flu shot. It wasn't this year, because, no, I mean, it wasn't 2020. Which seems strange now, huh? To not get a flu shot in 2020. But I got it in 2019, because I think what happened was I was at the doctor. My doctor was like, you need your flu shot, do you want it? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, the next 3 days, I was just like, Mom, I'm dying. I need help. I need you to bring me wonton soup. And she was like, oh my God, you were such a baby. She's like, you're not dying. And I was like, everything hurts. And my body hurts. Like, that's like, that's like my main concern about going on Friday is, y'all, I can't handle no more body aches. Can't do it. And that's like one of the main things my mom said. She was like, I was just like so, you know, she was running a fever and she just felt achy all over, and I was like, oh. But I talked to my one of my physical therapists on Thursday, and I was like, what was your experience with your second dose? And she said, she said she didn't, she was like, I didn't feel great. She's like, I felt terrible. But as soon as she took, I think she said she was taking Motrin. She's like, as soon as I took something, my fever went down and I felt better. So I guess as long as I am on top of managing it. I bet y'all can't wait for me to film that video when I'm after my second dose and I'm just like over here like, oh God. Probably be better than the video I tried to film after I had my tooth pulled. Which is still hurting. I don't know, it's been a while since I had a tooth extracted, but I don't remember it being like a prolonged thing. Like I remember being like, okay, for the first day or two it hurt. And I mean, it was just Tuesday and today's only Saturday, but this morning I was like, why does my tooth still hurt? Not my tooth, the hole, the real estate where my tooth once was. I'm still trying to figure out how to do this. But I'm not taking anything for it. I put some Orgel on it yesterday. Like not in the hole, like on my gums around the hole. Just because it was bothering me some. And actually, it's on my right side. My left side's bothering me more, but I think that's because I'm chewing on that side exclusively. Yeah, see, remember I said in the beginning of this video that I added the shorter tails and the wreath didn't look as big? This one is definitely 24 inches because my mat is 24 inches and it's covering the entire mat. So, Dollar General wreath frames are definitely not preferred. They're nicer, but they're more expensive and they're smaller. But it looks like I can still make a wreath out of one of them. Oh, you know something else about Patreon? Amanda Brown? I know she's watching this. She sends me a picture. She says she's making her own grapevines, and I'm like, oh, that's good. I said, you know, I've done a lot of grapevine videos. They just haven't been out yet on YouTube, and I was like, I haven't done a lot of grapevines yet. I was like, I'm glad she's like getting into it. You know, buying a grapevine and I put the wrong ribbon in. Buying a grapevine and, you know, getting her florals and everything. And I'm like looking at the wreath she sent me and I'm like, she's like, I'm not even paying attention to the wreath. I'm paying attention to what's added to the wreath, right? And I'm like, she's doing good. Like, good for her. And then like the last picture is a bunch of like sticks in a kiddie pool. And I go back and I read the message and it says, I'm making my own grapevines. And I was like, wait a minute. She's making her own grapevine wreath. And I was like, what? Very impressive. I was just like, okay. I mean, grapevine wreaths aren't expensive, but if you can make them yourself, any size you want. I should not say grapevine wreaths are expensive. I almost bought a grapevine wreath at Michael's the other day that was $34. It was enormous. It was beautiful. I wanted it, and I was like, oh. I'd have to sell that locally because I cannot imagine the astronomical price it would be to ship that in the box I would need. But so, the ones I buy that are $4.99 are inexpensive, but I was like, she is making her own wreath. So shout out to Amanda Brown, my first patron. Don't you wish that you were her and you could have been my first patron? I'm going to eventually, I just don't know what it is. Do like a gift for, you know, people who are patrons, who are signed up on Patreon. Whether that is like a magnet or a sticker. I can't wait until I have enough where I can do like one of those things where we have like a big live Zoom call. But it's just this the whole time. It just made me like, oh, ha, oh yeah, like, because I'm not putting on a face. Put on a face. I'm not covering my lizard form with my human suit. No matter how much people pay me. That's not true. I'll do anything for money. We all know that. I am relentless in my pursuit of money. Oh man, cool. Yo, I just went to go cut this and my felt life went like this and I was like, what is that? That's so hard. Oh, that would have been unfortunate. And probably painful, I would assume. Alright, I think I have... Well, I cut 14 and I have 2 pieces left, so somewhere along the way I missed a tie, but I'm not going back because if I go back, I'm going to have to redo every one of them, so... Oh no, maybe I didn't because this is where I started and... Yeah, I only have 2. Maybe I just cut an extra of those. Oh no, there's 2. Okay, I got them all. Never mind. I just don't know how to count or look at things. To get my hands fixed. Does anybody know what kind of doctor you go to get your hands fixed? I keep every time I say something like that, I think, does anybody watch Futurama and see that episode where Fry, he gets new hands from the robot devil so he can play some kind of instrument? I'm like, man, can I get like some super cool mechanical hands that have little wire cut, like these 2 fingers, they have like wire cutters on the edge of them, so I could just be like, and ones that spin around so I can twist pipe cleaners really fast, and ones that go so I can ruffle up mesh. Okay. So we have 2 left over, which I think I'm going to put 1 here and 1 here, and that will be that. Put it here, I guess. Yeah. Tubing is such a pain. Wow. How's that look? Good? Is there one? Oh, there is one right here. Cool. My throat's getting a little scratchy again. I wish I had something fun to glue over these, but I don't. Okay, so that is a finished wreath, I think. Things need to be finagled a little bit more, maybe. But I'm happy with that. No, you need to. What do you need to do? You need to come here and you need to go there. And then you guys need to switch here? Is that right? Maybe? I don't know. So I'm going to leave you guys here. I'm trying to be quiet because the dog jumps down every time I try to do this, and I want to film the after show. So thanks for watching. If you want to buy this wreath, it's linked down below in the description, as well as a link to my Etsy where you can buy any of my other wreaths. If I have convinced you to join Patreon, there's a link down there. There is a link to Instagram, and there is a link to tip me on Venmo if you want to buy me a box of coffee, because I drink a lot of coffee because my throat is broken, and my hands are too. And the dog jumped up anyway, so yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.